I have been a fan of Doctor Who since I was quite young. I began watching the Doctor Who show on TVO here in Ontario. The Fourth Doctor, played by Tom Baker, was my first, and still is my favorite Doctor. This was the book that started it all for me. My love of reading about the Doctor, his companions, and his many adventures. My dad bought it for me way back in the 1970s. It was written by Terrance Dicks in 1976, adapted from his screenplay from the 1973 broadcast of Planet of the Daleks. I'm so delighted that the BBC Books have republished some of their best novelizations from the first four Doctors. I thought of sharing them here, with you, on my show and tell. Doctor Who and the Daleks was the first ever Doctor Who novelization. It was based on the second Doctor Who TV serial. Both were written by Terrance Dicks in 1964. It's 162 pages long with an introduction by writer Neil Gaiman. This is the only novel reprint to be told in the first person from the point of view of companion Ian Chesterton. Doctor Who and the Crusaders is a 163-page long story featuring the first Doctor and his companions Barbara, Ian and Vicky. It was written by David Whittaker in 1966 based on his 1965 TV serial. It has an introduction by actor and comedian Charlie Higson. Doctor Who and the 10th Planet, a 157-page book, finds the first Doctor and companions Ben and Polly facing the Cybermen for the very first time. It was written in 1976, based on the 1966 TV serial by TV writer and script editor Jerry Davis, the co-creator of the Cybermen, with an introduction by modern-day Doctor Who writer Tom McRae. This story contains a glimpse of the second Doctor after the very first regeneration. Doctor Who and the Cybermen, a second Doctor novel, was written in 1967, based on the TV serial broadcast also in 1967. At 165 pages long, the Doctor, Jamie, Ben, and Polly meet the Cybermats for the very first time. Written by Jerry Davis, with an introduction by author and Doctor Who and Sarah Jane Adventures screenwriter Gareth Roberts. Doctor Who and the Abominable Snowman, a 165-page novel, was written by the great writer and script editor Terrance Dicks. It has an introduction by the sci-fi writer Stephen Baxter. Originally, it was published in 1974 based on the second Doctor TV serial broadcast in 1967. It features the companions Jamie and Victoria. Doctor Who and the Ice Warriors is a 1976 novel based on a 1967 TV serial starring the second Doctor, his companions Jamie and Victoria. It was written by TV, movie, and radio drama writer Brian Hales, with an introduction by BBC's Sherlock's co-creator and actor Mark Gatiss. Doctor Who and the Auton Invasion was written by Terrance Dicks. It has an introduction by screenwriter, TV producer, and the main person responsible for reviving the Doctor on TV after a 16-year hiatus, Russell T. Davies. This first third Doctor novel introduces the Doctor to UNIT and to Dr. Elizabeth Shaw after he has been exiled to Earth by his fellow Time Lords. Originally broadcast in 1970, this 168-page novel was published in 1974. Doctor Who and the Cave Monsters, a third Doctor and UNIT book, was the first Doctor Who novel to be written by TV writer Malcolm Hulke. It has a fabulous introduction by Doctor Who writer Terrance Dicks. Originally published in 1974, this 166-page novel was based on the TV serial broadcast in 1970. Doctor Who and the Day of the Daleks finds the third Doctor and Jo Grant traveling to the future to find humankind has been enslaved by the Daleks. This 161-page novelization of the 1972 TV serial, published in 1974, was written by Terrance Dicks, with an introduction by Doctor Who magazine writer and editor Gary Russell. Doctor Who, The Three Doctors, published in 1975 by Terrance Dicks, is based on the 1972 TV serial with an introduction by sci-fi author Alastair Reynolds. It stars all of the three original Doctors with Jo Grant, Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart, and UNIT. The Doctors in this 150-page book meet one of the very first Time Lords ever, Omega. This is the Time Lord who gifted his race with the power to travel through time. Doctor Who and the Loch Ness Monster is a 153-page book published in 1976 and is based on the 1975 TV serial of The Terror of the Zygons. It features the fourth Doctor, UNIT, and his companions Harry Sullivan and Sarah Jane Smith. This novel was written by Terrance Dicks with an introduction by sci-fi and fantasy author Michael Moorcock. Doctor Who and the Ark in Space was written by the fourth Doctor's companion Harry Sullivan himself, Ian Marter. Not only was Ian an actor in the series, but he authored 10 Doctor Who novels before he passed away of a heart attack at the age of 42. This 148-page novel was published in 1977 and is based on the TV serial that aired in 1975. It features the Fourth Doctor and his companion Sarah Jane Smith and the author himself, Harry Sullivan. The introduction was written by the current head writer and executive producer of the revived Doctor Who television series, Stephen Moffat.
Exterminate! Exterminate!
Well, that's the end of my Doctor Who reprint novel show and tell. I hope you enjoyed it. So long for now.